Hello. Today I will be talking about cooperative games. Cooperative games have been around for a long time. They range from the newest video game to the games you learn as a kid at school whenever y'all are going through teamwork drills and different activities that teachers have for you to work together to be able to develop those personal skills that you need as a young age to be able to help advance you later on in life. Uh, Cooperative games have been around for decades. They work. But have they been the reason why a lot of people have started to develop more need for welfare and things of that nature? Today I will be telling you about three major points. How cooperative games have broken down the American backbone. How we aren't so self-reliant anymore. Second, the building of the invisible barrier between those who work diligently and those who diligently need help. And then thirdly, how it managed correctly working in a team, how cooperative games managed correctly while working in a team can actually build self-confidence. In the independent person, build up that independence that you need, and then how it can also still help you do work as a team. First, right off the bat, people have started to use cooperative games that they've learned as a child. You can think back on some of the things that you did out in the schoolyard, how your teacher would have you maybe work as a team to find a hidden treasure or to build maybe a arts and craft, and you would all have to bring in your own personal skills to help boost the project in the right direction. Everyone was carrying their own weight. The way I like to look at it is if there's three people walking up a hill and you all have a belt wrapped around you and a string on the back, and that's carrying 20 pounds. Well, if you're all walking up the same hill and you need 60 pounds when you get to the top to be able to weigh down a mechanism that pulls up water so you can all get water, everyone's pulling their fair share. Everyone has 20 pounds of weight, and they're pulling it up the mountain. Well, if you use a cooperative games and where you all come together and everyone works together as a team, how people are starting to use that now, depending on welfare, depending on the government to pull them, to give them money and help them keep going, then be like if two of those people took off their strings and attached it to the middle person, and that middle person was carrying 60 pounds, while the other two were just carrying themselves. So the same weight is being pulled, but it's not being pulled spread out equally. It's being pulled by just one person. And I feel that a lot of people have used cooperative games that they learned as a child and have been taught throughout life in school and things of that nature, even in the workforce, to depend on others they have, or to rely on others to help with certain things. They have taken that to a complete maximum and have relied on the government completely to maybe keep them going, to give them money. So they've become more lazy than actually pulling their own weight. How it used to be. How it used to be where people pulled their own weight, gave to the government used the money to help fund things that would help the people, and it was an equal share. Some statistics. There is approximately 4.1% of the population is on welfare, according to statisticsbrain.com. That was out of 56,600,000 people. Now it's even a higher percentage. It's over 100 million people on welfare, according to caffertyfile.blogs.cnn.com. The government spends approximately $131.9 billion on welfare. This is money that, of course, goes to Medicare, Medicaid, into Social Security, but mainly goes to people who could earn a living, who could earn their fair share but decide not to, who use that cooperative mentality to make themselves feel good, that maybe they were taught and told throughout life, that people nowadays are starting to come into life thinking, well, I've done my fair share in the past. Now it's time for the government to pay me back, or for the other person on my team to pay me back. So cooperative games really taught at a young age could actually thus make it more difficult for you in the future. One of the barriers between people who work and those who don't, it really makes it kind of creates animosity between a community whenever you're pulling your fair share and you're giving taxes, but then another individual who maybe lives down the street is very capable but just decides not to. It can, it kind of makes you want to be more independent and non-cooperative, thus creating an unbalance in the system. A great way to that, one of the specific ways that cooperation can work, especially like it is taught and like you see in the games that you were in as a child and throughout school, is whenever everyone pulled their fair share, things greater than what you could accomplish by yourself happened. Everyone brought their own personal skills, what they were good at. Maybe somebody in your group was taller and could reach something higher, or maybe somebody was quicker so they could run around the schoolyard and grab something and bring it back. There's a lot of different skills that were brought together to help, like I said, create something bigger than what you could have done by yourself. How this can be shown not just in childhood but in the adulthood. Rancher, farmer, and fishery cooperatives show how such a life can be profitable. These groups employ 129,000 full-time workers in 2010. That's a huge amount, and with that amount, that creates jobs, which then creates more money that goes back into the flow of the economy, thus creating not a recession but a surplus, or at least pushes us towards that, so that the national debt and things of that nature start going down instead of increasing. It kind of takes plus some of the weight just off of the government, so it's not so much where one person's pulling all the weight and it then becomes not a cooperation but more of a non-cooperative control. Since they're providing all the funds, they thus can tell you how to spend the funds. So it really kind of makes it where it's equally distributed, so no one person has too much control and no one person or party has to carry a lot of the weight. In conclusion, both cooperative and non-cooperative activities and programs are needed to build the people skills and self-reliant characteristics that are needed for a community to be successful. I believe this wholeheartedly, and I believe honestly, being one of 5 children, that everyone pulling their own weight and everyone being cooperative definitely aids in the main scheme of things and bringing the whole project and total big picture and puzzle together. If one person's pulling too much or is having to do too much to pick up for someone else who could be pulling their weight, it makes it animosity come up, and there's a lot of added problems. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a good night. Thank you.